Hello, this is Rachel Sakhi from Los Angeles, California, and I'm going to be making something called Sheer Payra. It's an Afghani dessert, usually called, uh, I think it's usually called milk fudge, but I'm used to the name Sheer Payra. So basically, I have substituted a couple of the ingredients because cardamom is really expensive. It's like $20 for a bottle this big at any grocery store. Couldn't find any on sale, so I figured I could substitute it. So I'm going to tell you all about the ingredients, and let me wash my hands really quick, and then I'm going to discuss with you the ingredients that I will be using to make this Afghani dessert, which is my all-time favorite, and I've loved it for years and years and can't get enough of it. And I usually eat it served with black tea. And okay, so let's get started. Okay, so basically, I've got these ingredients. They're in this plastic bowl, and that's all you need. I'm going to use this saucepan. Okay, it's for boiling. And then I'm going to use this baking sheet to pour the Sheer Payra in to cool off. Okay, so first we've got rose water. You can find it in any Asian food store, usually maybe Afghani stores, Pakistani Indian stores, and Asian stores. And it's called rose water. Fairly inexpensive, like $1.99. I've got instant non-fat dry milk. You can find small boxes that are generic, and basically it should be fairly inexpensive. This box was $4.99. Okay? This is called powdered milk. Some people call it milk powder or something like that, but it's basically powdered milk. You know, your parents used to serve it to you when you were a little kid. Really yummy. Okay. It serves a great purpose. Okay. Cardamom I did not buy because it is $20 a bottle in the spice section, and that is actually one of the main ingredients of Sheer Payra because of its nice strong aroma. I didn't want to substitute it with nutmeg or anything like that, so I chose to get a can of sweetened condensed milk because it's almost the equivalency of cardamom. I prefer it, you know, okay? I have a bag of chopped walnuts, and this is about half a cup. Usually you'd want to use a full cup, or maybe even 2 cups of walnuts, but I'm just gonna go with this because I just happen to buy 1 bag. So, but you're gonna need a cup of crushed walnuts, okay? You're gonna need some pistachios, and I got this. You can get non-shelled pistachios. You'd be working awfully hard if you got shelled pistachios and then just sat there cracking open those shells. You know, it's a lot of work. Also, another thing is that pistachios are actually the second most expensive ingredient in this recipe for Sheer Payra, because pistachios are a really famous nut, and they're very flavorful and a very unique nut, which usually comes in I'd say a bag about this large, maybe that big. which would be about 10 bucks. So they're fairly expensive. I got this one for $3, okay, and this is 4 ounces. This will do me fine. I've got a nut crusher. Actually, it's actually for garlic, but I'm gonna try and see if it works so that I could crush the pistachios. I don't have a wooden hammer, so I'm not gonna, and I don't want it to like splatter all over the place. So I'm gonna try, and I also don't have a grinder, you know, so I'm gonna try and do this by hand, see how it works. And also, I've got pure cane sugar. Okay, we're gonna need that as well. And I think that is about it. You're gonna need this to stir with, and then something like this to cut. The Sheer Payra is going to be fairly soft, but hard enough to where you'll have to cut it. So this has a sharp edge to it. It's a metal spatula, and basically you can kind of cut through and then, you know, pick up. So spatula and a plastic spoon, plastic mixer or whatever that's called, and then a bowl, a nice bowl to kind of mix the ingredients in. So I am going to start by crushing the nuts, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and crush the nuts, and then I'll be back. So let me see actually if it's gonna be easy or not. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to, I'm sure you have an easier method of doing this, but I'm going to see how it works right now and see if it works. And it's actually just smashing it, but wow. Okay, so this is going to take a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off and kind of get to yeah, that's not going to work. I am going to actually crush them or maybe chop them up or something like that. So don't use one of these. It's not going to work. So I'll be right back, and I'll show you the finished product of the pistachios when I come back. So I found a way to crush the pistachios. What I've done is I've poured the bag inside of this tea kettle. Okay, there, I don't know if you can see that or not, but and I'm taking the garlic presser and I'm crushing it by hand. There's easier ways to do this, like if you've got an electric one at home. I'm sure you all do. You know, go ahead and use that. And then I am going to continue to try and crush these pistachios. And pistachios are so pretty. They're such a gorgeous color. They're bright green. They're kind of like a lime green mixed with yellows and browns and dark greens. It's really pretty. I mean, they are really pretty. So, and they taste just so good. Okay, so it's going faster than I expected doing it by hand, and I'm just trying to get it as finely grounded as possible.
Okay.
So I'm going to finish grinding these, and then I'll turn the camera back on. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I have grinded most of the pistachios down to a powder, and or they're finely granulated now. And so I guess this recipe is going to be a little bit different than the common recipe. I'm going to have finely grinded pistachio nut, and then I'm also going to have larger chunks. So I'm going to have large chunks of pistachios on top of my Sheer Payra. I'm going to try and chop it a little, grind it a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna transfer the pistachio into this microwave container. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna, and the walnuts, I'm just gonna leave the same size that they are, or that they came in the bag. I am going to start the fire and add some water to, let's see, I'm gonna add let me see how much sugar I have here. I have 2 cups of sugar, so I'm going to add 2 cups of water. And put it to boil on high. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and open the dry milk container, and let's see how much is in here. One envelope is, let's see here, makes 1 quart. So let's see. For extra richness, add a 1/3 cup more instant. Okay, so I'm gonna put let's see here. These are coming in envelopes, but usually I guess you're supposed to put 2 cups, I believe it is. 1 minute, let me check. Okay, 2 cups of powder. So I'm going to open 2 envelopes because that's how they came inside this particular box. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 envelopes. I'm going to pour the milk powder or powdered milk into the container and the walnuts also. Pour the walnuts in there, and I'm gonna take some rose water. Well, let me go ahead and mix the powdered milk and walnuts together. And I think I am supposed to actually, I've got quite a bit of sugar boiling. I use 2 cups of water, and maybe 3 cups of water, and maybe 2.5 cups of sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 1 more envelope, which is the last envelope of dry milk, into the walnuts. And stir that. Okay, in this container, I'm going to pour a little bit of rose water. Smells so good. It smells just like a dozen of roses. Wow. So I've got enough. I'm going to pour a little bit more. It just smells so good. Now, to substitute the cardamom, which I don't recommend, but I'm going to do this for my own self. I'm going to open the can of condensed milk. Yum, that looks so good. And you might think, hey, it's just a can of sugar, but it's really not. I am going to get a spoon and mix it together with the rose water in this tin cup, while the powdered milk and walnuts are in this microwave container. The grounded pistachios are sitting alongside, and the sugar and water is boiling right now. So I'm going to take, now remember I'm using this as a substitute. This was only $2. So this is condensed milk. I'm using this as a substitute for the cardamom, which costs $20 for a bottle. Okay, so I'm going to pour this into the rose water. Three tablespoons. And I'm going to mix it together. Wow, that smells so good. Roses and condensed milk. So I'm just going to mix that together. Now it's not thick anymore. It's really liquidy, as you can see. See? So let me go ahead and check on the sugar that's boiling. And the sugar that's boiling right now is really, it's really liquidy. It's not very thick right now, so I'm going to continue to boil it. And so far it's been about 4 to 5 minutes. So I'm going to continue to boil it on high right now until I notice it becoming caramelized, which means it's much thicker. Kind of like candy, okay? And actually, I think I'm going to add a little bit more sugar. So I'm just going to pour some more sugar into the water that's boiling and the water and sugar that's already boiling. Okay?